So our apprenticeship program, it teaches you the theory. You understand IT, you understand the principles of security, the difference between confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and how those work together to provide a protection mechanism that defines how a system is secure. How all these systems work together, firewalls, antivirus, EDR solutions, access controls, how all of that works together in order to secure systems. So we get them the theory to where they understand how all that works together. And then because I have a business and I also have clients that I support, we would then anonymize those clients where they don't see the names, but they need to build out an instant response plan. Hey, these people need to do a risk assessment, and this is all the systems that they have. These are the gaps that they have. These are the people that they have in place. These are the number of policies they have in place. Let's evaluate that, right? And so then we walk them through how to work through each one of those controls on a given framework and what that means. When they're asking for this is what they mean, and this is the question that you should ask that person that's in charge of that department in that company. These are the things that you should be looking for. You should be looking for a policy. You should be looking for their procedures, which is how they implement the policy. Hey, this is what we should be doing. This is how we do it. And then where's the evidence? Give me some screenshots. Hey, look, these are the screenshots that they provided. Do you think this provides enough evidence? And then we talk through what is sufficient evidence, what isn't sufficient evidence. And then when they get that practical experience on, again, how to approach it, how to evaluate it, how to understand the controls, what they're asking for, how to then evaluate whether or not that system or that department or that company met the control standard, then we're able to now okay, I understand, and this is the level of risk that they're at because they have these controls implemented, these ones that aren't implemented. We have some compensating controls that kind of fill in the gap to where they don't have a full control implemented. And then we then produce a product, an actual product that we can give to that business. And they didn't have an instant response plan, they now have an instant response plan. They hadn't done a risk assessment, they now have a risk assessment. And so when they get that theory, and then we also, over the course of that, we then give them opportunities to also get some certifications. There are some vulnerability management certifications. There are some certifications around exposure management. And once we get them that certification, they have the confidence and have the theory. I know how things work. I know how to assess and review controls and understand them. I know how to assess risk. I also know how to implement a strategy to prioritize how we then fix certain things that we've seen that are wrong with this company as a whole based off this whole risk assessment. They might have 12 things that are wrong. We can't solve all 12 of those things at the same time. Correct. We need to put some priority around it. And that's a risk-based approach that we try to teach. What's the highest risk? And we start there, and then we start working our way down. And so once they have all those things together, then they have completed the apprenticeship program. And then we also help them develop a resume so that they can articulate how they have developed and acquired those skills and how they have applied that in a real world scenario, on a practical exercise, or hands-on with an actual work product for an actual legitimate client. Once they're able to put that on a resume, that makes them a whole lot more competitive, number one, when they enter the job market. Number two, it gives them the confidence to know that they can immediately come into an interview and actually answer those questions. I don't just have theory, I know how to actually apply this. And so if you ask me a question about it, I can tell you how to do it, not just what it is. So they can speak at a level of depth. And then number three, it gives that employer the confidence to know that they're bringing on somebody that is going to add immediate value because they know at least the framework and the basics on what needs to happen, and they've done it before. That's the theory of how things should work. And then this should work. Hey, if you aim your army at their army and you guys shoot, if you have more ammunition than they do, then you should be in a better position. Well, no, hey, do you know how to aim? Correct. Are you doing other methods to be able hey, maybe I get a 2-for-1 for somebody, right? Correct. Maybe I need to change my caliber around so I can, hit more people at once. So those are the techniques, tactics, and procedures that differentiate between hey, this isn't just theory. This is how it works in the real world. And then this is our level of understanding.